I've seen the future of detailing, and it is not garlic bread. What is it? Graphene. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the next generation of detailing products, talking about what this stuff is, what are the potential benefits of it, having a look at it in action, poking some chemicals at it and comparing some performance. Let's get stuck into this one. Cue the VT. Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel, guys. Great to see you. If you've not already done so, hit that subscribe, hit that bell button, see the Patreon thing in the link and all that sort of stuff. But let's get on with what we're talking about in this video. We're talking about graphene. Now, Into Detailing have kindly sent me a couple of graphene products just to have a play around with. So, quick introduction. There's all these different generations of detailing products going all the way back to the Carnauba paste wax, then synthetic sealants, then God knows how long ago, 10, 15 years, we started getting these silica products and ceramic coatings and SI02 materials. There's other formats of detailing products as well, you know, PTFE based and fluoropolymer stuff and acrylics. There's all these different generations. The detailing industry is reliant on the background chemical industry that supplies lots of other industries to engineer new materials, okay? And when one of the big companies engineers a new material, they can filter down to lots of detailing companies. Now, graphene seems to be making its way into the detailing product world, but it hasn't gone massive yet, okay? Hasn't gone massive yet. That's a very important thing, but it won't be that important to some of you. So first of all, what the heck is graphene? Which is exactly what it says on this little cheat sheet, and this cheat sheet has been sent to me by Imran as well to help me because I don't know what it is. So let's just read this out, guys. Apologies if you see me glancing up and down. It's a thin sheet of carbon atoms in a honeycomb structure, okay? Okay. Carbon, the only thing I can take away from that with my limited chemical knowledge is if it's carbon based, it's an organic material. If it's non-carbon based, most times it's inorganic, okay? So there's always two types of materials. Graphene is a 2D material, one atom thick. That's the first time I've ever heard that kind of expression, 2D material. Many stacked sheets of graphene create graphite. Okay, fine. Interesting facts about graphene: it's the world's strongest material. I seem to hear this all the time when it comes to detailing products. I've heard it said with so many different materials. I don't know who's like got the top trump. It's the world's most strongest material, 200 times stronger than any steel. It has extraordinary thermal and electrical conductivity. Is that useful? Why do I care about that? If you get hit by lightning on the car, it'd be great for me getting blown up, I suppose. I don't know. That's relevant to other industries, isn't it? It's extremely thin, light, flexible and transparent. Great. It's commonly referred to as the wonder material with unlimited potential for integration in almost any industry. Graphene is one of the most studied materials since winning the 2010 Nobel Prize for its isolation. Don't understand what that means. Countless universities and companies are now developing graphene-based technologies. Apple, HP, Samsung, LG, Sony, GE, Lockheed Martin and NASA, to name a few. Graphene applications: high-capacity batteries, efficient solar panels, super-fast computer chips. I didn't know computers liked eating chips. God, that's got to be the worst joke ever. Never improvise, never go off-piste. Next-gen sensors, tough composite materials, innovative medical equipment, aerospace, automotive, yeah, there we are, water filtration, and of course, anti-corrosive coatings. Good. So why graphene over ceramic coatings? I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but one of the products, this has been sent into me today from Into Detailing to have a look at, is something called ArtDeShine Nano Graphene, which looks, on the surface of it, very much like a ceramic coating in one of these little bottles, but I'm told it is not a ceramic coating, it's a graphene coating with PDMS. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. So why graphene coatings over ceramic coatings? SPS graphene boasts an amazing 5-year rated bond with the surface when installed professionally. When installed by a clown like me, it'll last 5 minutes. Graphene greatly decreases water spotting potential. Stubborn etchings will be less likely to penetrate and damage the treated surfaces. Good, that's interesting. Interesting. This is ideal for vehicles that spend majority of their time outside and exposed to the elements. Okay, so increased water spotting potential. That's one of the problems with ceramic coatings. Not a major problem, but still a problem. And if you get hit with that water spotting problem, you might potentially have to take that coating off and reapply it. So it's something you need to get right, but I think most people are aware of it. And there are some improvements with ceramic coatings and some top coats and the water-based, you know, top coat products as well to protect against that. Also has low surface friction and a contact angle of 125 degrees. That's very impressive. Is that being created by the graphene is my question. Graphene creates a smooth surface, reduces friction, thus lowering the amount of force created by abrasive actions that can otherwise cause fine scratches. So in other words, if it's low friction, it's got solid mass on it, it's going to slide off with less friction and less scratching, hopefully. Graphene ensures bird droppings, tree sap, dead bugs and harsh chemicals will be less likely to penetrate, stain treated surfaces. This is something that I think would make an interesting test, wouldn't it? You know, you need to capture like a pigeon, you know, and strangle it, force feed it. I'm going to get all the animal lovers hating me now. I'm only joking, guys, but get a pigeon on there and hold it there till it craps on the panel. Get it to do it twice, and then see which one has the most etching. There's a real scientific test for you. Just got to find a participating pigeon. Even at its simple 1 atom thick form, graphene does not tear due to its high tensile strength. When combined with polydimethylsiloxane, PDMS is the easiest way to recognise it. When combined with PDMS coatings, graphene helps to make an even better coating. So the thing is, it says PDMS, so that's siloxane effectively, so that's not the ceramic material. You know, PDMS is used in all sorts of kind of detailing products or forms of PDMS. Graphene allows for rapid water dispersion with increased self-cleaning. It's interesting. Increased self-cleaning hydrophobics. The wording is always very important. Self-cleaning hydrophobics, which makes for easy cleaning. Graphene also provides a wet glossy look, enhanced reflectivity, don't they all, and has both anti-fouling, we've already talked about that, and UV resistant properties. So now we have a little bit of an idea of what graphene is. I want to talk specifically about the products we've got here, guys. So the ArtDeShine Nano Graphene, this product costs 180 quid for 50 millilitres. We'll talk about the price a little bit later on. And this product here, the ArtDeShine Graphene Detailer, costs $14.95 for what looks like half a litre. Now, application, first up, as per normal, like if you're applying a ceramic coating, you're going to want the surface to be in very good shape. You're ideally going to want it to be cleaned, decontaminated, machine polished, and then very important, degreased properly. Now it says to put 7 to 8 drops on an applicator and then apply that in crisscross or cross-hatch or crisscross, whatever you like. First observation is that it is quite thick. It's not like a loose, oily ceramic. There's a bit of resistance there, but you just sort of I actually found spreading it in circles gave you a really good coverage. And the key, I think, sometimes with a coating which is a little bit more resistance when you're spreading it, is to not use too much. Sometimes by putting more on there, you're putting more solvent in, and you can actually make it a little bit more spreadable, but you're actually putting too much material down, which is going to increase the risk of kind of footprints from the microfiber or smears or high spots. So follow the directions, 7 to 8 drops, crisscross it. Then you take a clean microfiber and you just lightly go over it, guys, and that is just to pick up, you know, like where you've applied it, you've got all the lines of the product. When you just wipe it, what you're doing is you're leveling the product down, basically. The next bit's interesting. You take a dampened microfiber, so you get a microfiber, soak it in some distilled water, a bucket of distilled water, wring it out so it's not dripping wet, just so it's kind of wet or damp with the distilled water, and again, just wipe over the coating. Now I'm interested why the water is important. Does that start to trigger the cure or something like that? Does it, why is the water important? But it seems fine anyway. Then after you've gone over it with the wet cloth, you take a third cloth, a clean cloth, and then you just wipe, give it a gentle kind of buff, it describes. So you're now at that point with a third cloth where you're making sure that the product looks good and you've got lots of light and you can see if there's any footprints there. You're looking to get a nice clear finish on it, and then you leave it. So that sounds like perhaps a little bit of a hassle, having 3 microfibers for each step. And it perhaps is for some people, but it's not that big a deal once you get yourself organised and you were doing it on a full car. You'd have a few for the initial buff, a few wet ones ready to go, and then a pile of dry ones. Okay, it also says using heated ventilated conditions. We were running it around about 10 degrees here with 90% humidity with the garage door open, and we applied it and we left it for 24 hours and I encountered no problems. So that's the application covered. Now let's just, some of the comments that I've made, guys. First up, the price of £180. That's a lot of money, and what that's going to mean is it's going to limit the people that buy it to the ones that are really interested in kind of detailing, perhaps professionals that are looking for products that they can apply, you know, that are unique and might have better performance. A 5-year coating is normally something that you need to be certified for. Now when this product came out, it was pro only, so you could only buy it if you're a professional. Now it's coming out that I believe anyone can buy it, but you're buying it at your own risk. My opinion is that it's not difficult to apply if you follow the instructions. What I can't replicate is extreme humidity and extreme high temperatures here at the moment in the UK. Imran said to me the UK climate is kind of ideal for actually applying this, where it's a little bit cooler. So maybe it's not so friendly in high heat, I don't know. So it's expensive. And that is a little bit of a shame, guys, because I think if you're going to go viral with a product, one, it's got to be unique, it ticks that box, but then 2, it's got to be priced affordably. So the price will put a lot of people off, in my opinion. Now, another comment is there's not really any exact information on cure times with this after application. You know, what you do with it, how long you have to leave it before washing. And I know you could argue it's common sense. I would leave this for like a week maybe, for like a ceramic, treat it like a ceramic coating. But I think ArtDeShine should specify all that if they don't, and I couldn't find that information easily. So that was a comment. I could do with some guidelines on exact temperatures, the lowest temperature that it's applicable at, you know, and the highest, and humidity, because I've got all the gear to keep an eye on that. I'm interested in the chemistry of this, guys, because it feels to me like a ceramic coating, but it's not ceramic. So when I first started researching ceramic coatings, what you could do with the inorganic liquid silane materials was they are compatible with other resins, organic resins. So you've got this ceramic coating development going on where you've got the baseline silanes and you've got other resins going in there. When I first saw this product, I thought it might be something like that, where it's an inorganic silane resin mixed with a graphene organic resin, and that was it. But from the product description, that's not what it is. So the graphene, the reason this is really relevant is it means it's the graphene primarily that's doing the work. So I don't know too much about that, so I'll leave it at that. But I thought that was a really interesting point. It smells a little bit like a ceramic coating. I can smell the butol ether, that sort of sweet, hard to describe kind of smell. But some ceramic coatings have a fungusy mushroom solvent in them, like a form of naphtha that you can recognise, and that's in there to dissolve other materials, whereas this just smelled of the butol ether. I've already mentioned it is slightly draggy and thick to apply. You've got to just, I find that you just got to work it to get it to go. But it's nice to buff actually, especially the final buff, the dry buff. Nice and slick and smooth. Another question that I've got about these products is compatibility with, for example, compatibility with silica primers. Probably isn't. Obviously, this coating, the compatibility is a little bit more obvious, but what should you put on top of the coating? Could you use an SI02 spray, or should it only be this graphene spray? Can this graphene spray go on top of cars that have been waxed or ceramic coated even? So all of these 1,000,001 different compatibility issues, bit of a can of worms, but there's no kind of guidance out there. And I know from doing YouTube that the first thing people are going to ask is, can I spray this graphene thing on top of my Fuso or my paste wax? And they're fair enough questions. The truth is, I don't know the answer. Finally, I just want to talk about some other areas of performance, guys. Looking at measuring the kind of gloss in comparison on a little test panel, looking at the hydrophobicity. The gloss readings seem in line with the CarPro Lite. We had panels that are kind of kicking around 80 units of gloss and are now averaging around 84 to 85 units of gloss with no significant difference between each product. So we're putting some material down. They're similar type of materials, curing to a hard resin, and they both look the same. I can't see the graphene one being more shiny than the ceramic coating. So at the moment, don't really have enough info on that. Hydrophobicity is claiming 125-degree contact angles. I can see on this little machine, which is coming in useful, Into Detailing Imran sent me this through to the channel as a Christmas present, so massive thank you. This is a display thing for ceramic coating, so if you're a detailer, or you've got a shop or something like that, you can apply your coating to this little test hood, and you can tie it on, and it will sit there spraying water at it. You've got to give it a second for it to come through out of all the nozzles. Now on this thing, guys, I've overlaid the shots. The 125-degree contact angle, the beads are going down the panel faster than what I'm testing it against. So I'm testing it against CarPro Lite, which is a 6th month lightweight coating. So I'm not testing it because I'm expecting CarPro to be able to outperform it. I'm expecting the graphene product to outperform a lightweight ceramic coating with its product claims, and this is a good one to test it against. And if it can't beat CarPro Lite on some of its claims, then I don't think it's doing a good job, in my opinion. It is more repellent if you look at the footage than CarPro Lite, and that ties up with the test panel outside as well. It's also slicker. It claims low friction scratch resistance. It feels smoother than the lightweight ceramic, and the thing slides down easier, so it's living up to its low friction thing. The next thing, guys, I'm hitting it with Wonder Wheels, which is a very strong wheelbase cleaner that has some hydrochloric acid in it, I believe, very small quantities, or some sort of acid in it. It's quite nasty stuff, and you can smell it's got a pong to it. I'm also leaving the acids lying on that surface each time for around about an hour, so it can sit there. It's not just a little quick hit and rinse off. It's sitting there out in the cold for over an hour, and then I rinse off. After the third hit of doing that, I can basically see that the CarPro ceramic has slowed down a little bit, and I would expect it to, with that sort of exposure, you know, to an acid for that long, a strong acid. And this is a durable product, guys, by the way. I recommend CarPro Lite to people. It's phenomenal, but it's rated as a 6-month coating, so it's going to be affected by these chemicals. Interestingly, the nano graphene product looks like it is completely unaffected. And what I'm going to do right now is walk out there and just show you live. We'll do it live if you like. We've run out of bloody battery power. Run out of battery power. Get on there. Good, yeah. Just gonna rinse it off. It's all rinseable, this. Look at that. Totally unaffected. This is the third round This, you can see, is effective. It's slowed down a little bit. This one, no. And that's what I'm hitting it with. So that's it, guys. These graphene products are very unique. I've had to play around with this detail spray. I've sprayed it on panels and stuff like that, but it's going to go, I'm shooting a detail spray comparison, so it's going to go in there. That's the best way to compare it up against all these other products, all these different other formats. Because detail sprays are supposed to do other things as well as just be a potent dressing, you know what I mean? So far, guys, I'm pretty impressed with ArtDeShine Nano Graphene. The only way to really know how to use this, or how good this is, sorry, is to put it on a car, live with that car for 5 years and see what's going on. We can never really do that on this channel, but I'm pretty impressed. I'm actually impressed enough to want, I'm considering machining my car down when it gets a little bit warmer and applying this. The thing I want to take away is, yes, it's expensive, but for me it's fascinating because it's a new material, and so far the performance looks incredible, looks like a pro grade product, but I personally think it's quite easy to work with, so I've got no concerns. I think I can apply this myself. Well, you know, I'm confident enough to have a go, so I look forward to it. Guys, let me know what you think of these graphene products. You can buy them now as a professional or an amateur. Read the instructions. You're buying all these things at your risk. Treat this like a ceramic coating when you apply it. Glove up. And if you're applying it to a full car, perhaps wear eye protection and a safety mask, and follow the health and safety instructions using a ventilated area. Let me know what you think about these. They are available from Into Detailing. I'll put a link for it in the description. The coating might be 99% of people that are watching this that are perhaps new to detailing. The coating might not be for you at this stage unless you're kind of more advanced and you're familiar with ceramic coatings perhaps and stuff like that, and you're confident. But the ceramic detail, the graphene, the graphene detailer, you might want to take a look at. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know if you've got any cool information about graphene and how it actually works. And I hope this video was useful. Take care. Bye for now. Guys, just want to take a second in this video. Pro Detailers Volume 10 is now available. So this is a detailing magazine, guys, that's got new products, what's going on with the detailing scene, lots of detailing how-tos, but in particular a mega test that I was involved in looking at trim dressing and trim restorers. So it's a very interesting read. Loads of other stuff in here as well, guys. I'll put a link of where you can get this in the description. It's also available in America if you're a viewer from that neck of the woods. So check out Pro Detailers Volume 10.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I?